A mic in my hand and a fire in my chest. Words of truth ignite the quest, breaking chains with every rhyme. Faith in God stands the test of time. Miller's Mayhem mic, shining bright, spreading truth and casting light, defeating darkness with a holy roar. Faith the shield and love the core. The stage is set, the battle's begun, evil's grip undone, one by one. With every verse, the shadows flee, God's power flows through you and me. Mash it up with a righteous twist, turn the tables with every fist. Mayhem's mix breaks through the haze, evil shatters under heaven's gaze. Mayhem mic, shining bright, spreading truth and casting light, defeating darkness with a holy roar. Faith the shield and love the core. Love the core, love the core, love the core, love the core, love the core. No retreat, no backing down. Truth and light where the victor's crown. Evil trembles as the anthem flies. The mic becomes the sword that never dies. Miller's Mayhem mic, shining bright, spreading truth and casting light, defeating darkness with a holy roar. Faith the shield and love the core. A mic in my hand and a fire in my chest. Words of truth ignite the quest, breaking chains with every rhyme. Faith in God stands the test of time. Miller's Mayhem mic, shining bright, spreading truth and casting light, defeating darkness with a holy roar. Faith the shield and love the core. The stage is set, the battle's begun, evil's grip undone, one by one. With every verse, the shadows flee, God's power flows through you and me. Mash it up with a righteous twist, turn the tables with every fist. Mayhem's mix breaks through the haze, evil shatters under heaven's gaze. Mayhem mic, shining bright, spreading truth and casting light, defeating darkness with a holy roar. Faith the shield and love the core. Love the core, 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 love the core. No retreat, no backing down. Truth and light where the victor's crown. Evil trembles as the
Welcome to Miller's Mayhem, Mike. Just bear with me a moment as we get set up here. Not easy when you're using backup equipment. I'm still trying to work on some minor technical difficulties here. Uh, See if it works or not. If I get an echo, I apologize. I guess it's going to be a little silly on me today. So, this is attempt number 2. I tried to do something a little earlier, and I apologize to those that were here earlier. Well, hours earlier is the misnomer. For some people, it's still the same day. Other people, it's now after midnight, a new day. Um, yes. So, to make sure I'm being heard. All right. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, yeah, that part seems to be fixed. Now it's just a matter of getting this other part working right. My regular computer crashed, and it's probably the motherboard. It's going to cost me, well, I called one computer place, and they told me probably between $200 to $400 to do so, depending upon the exact issue. Because, of course, they can't tell for sure until it's physically in front of them. Let's say my primary streaming Windows laptop, aka an HP Pavilion, so-called gaming. Yeah, overheated or something and took a nosedive. This is not my regular. These Mayhem streams are not my camping general hangout streams. Yeah, it's not the hard drive that took a dump. It's the Basically, it's something to do with the power, built-in power supply or something on that laptop. Basically, the board itself doesn't look too bad, and it was elevated to try to stay as cool as possible. It's just a matter of it crashed. I wasn't here when it exactly when it crashed, when it decided to shut down. I was helping somebody give somebody a jump start, and came back. It was down and would not power back on. Trying to use the whole reset methods and whatnot. Okay, let's see if we can switch to where I have better access and hopefully a little better sound. Uh, don't like doing this from my phone if I don't have to. Because my phone is so sensitive. Okay, there we go. I should be coming in from my computer now. Yep. Well, from this backup computer. Yeah, I didn't see any blown capacitors or anything like that when I took the back cover, the bottom off of it, and took a peek. Oh, come on. I hate hearing myself out. Anything I can do. For some reason, that's always going to have some sense come out of it. Wow. Okay. And hello, Daniel. Nice to see you. Sure. Look, computers are computers, and basically, I was told the hard drive should still be good. It's just a matter of the motherboard. Probably something on the motherboard. So this is. Let's just take a moment here.
Words like thunder breaking through the haze. Truth in echo sets the world ablaze with faith unshaken and a voice so bold, defying shadows that are icy cold. Microphone of mayhem roaring through the night, spreading truth and light with holy might, defeating darkness, standing tall and proud. Faith in God rings out clear and loud. Chains are falling with every spoken word. Justice rises, every line is heard. From the ashes, hope begins to climb. The sound of freedom breaks through time. Microphone of mayhem roaring through the night, spreading truth and light with holy might, defeating darkness, standing tall and proud. Faith in God rings out clear and loud. No fear, no falter, the fire burns bright. Every word a spark, igniting the fight against the void where shadows creep. A voice of courage wakes those asleep. Microphone of mayhem roaring through the night, spreading truth and light with holy might, defeating darkness, standing tall and proud.
Well, the one that went down had an i7.
Out clear and loud. Microphone of mayhem roaring through the night, spreading truth and light with holy might. Microphone of mayhem roaring through the night, spreading truth and light with holy might. Might like thunder through the fire waves. Words like thunder breaking through the haze.
So, yeah. Anyway. I won't rehash what I was talking about earlier, but clearly needed. Looks like I was able to simul stream this time to both my from here on YouTube and to my Rumble channel. So, anybody new show up, feel free to say hello, like, subscribe, follow on Rumble, thumbs up, thumbs down. Do what you must. So, a lot of what I was rehashing earlier was some government agency incompetency. And which isn't surprising. Just because they get a liberal degree doesn't always mean they know what the heck they're talking about. And it is messed up as you go through and see how bad law enforcement's corrupt. I mean, it's just. A lot of my new members are all part of the 1A community. And I can't wait till I have some good updates on that. But still trying to find a civil rights attorney in Texas. Not the famous one on YouTube. Although I wish he covered the story, but I don't know. It probably got lost in his email, or he gets so much that. Well, Daniel, that's what happened. So what a lot of people don't understand is that when you stand up for the truth, when you speak truth to power, when you don't back down because of your faith, you refuse to bow to anyone but the proper God, that's what I have no other gods before him. Well, Satan, demons, and those that are controlled by them will attack. For we do not battle against flesh and blood, but against the principalities and spirits of darkness. It's Scripture shows us that. And although he's not the second coming, he's not the first coming, he's not anything, and everybody and nobody's perfect. Let me just look at the attacks on now President Trump, the assassination attempts by liberals who were fed nonsense by demons. And that's the reason for the mayhem. This is a mayhem against those demons. That's what this mayhem mic's about. Speaking the truth, which I always do to begin with, whether people like it or not. But you will notice, Daniel, I now have a Starlink standard kit. I have better internet. I'm not cutting out as bad as I used to be. So that's a first. That was the first drop I had. Weird. But then again, it is Friday night, Saturday morning, and this is a congested area. So, not super surprising, but it is, but it isn't. But that is the first drop in the middle of a stream I've had since I've had the Starlink. Wow. Right as I was speaking about it. So that makes me curious. But maybe it was just a drop as it was switching between. Oh, that's what it was. That drop was because every so often, apparently it seems to be every couple of days, my public IP changed with Starlink. Just happened to be bad timing. That's all. Okay. Other than that, we should be good. Oh yeah. Doing the speed test. Starlink speed test. 299 megabits per second down. Getting the data for the up. 14 megabits per second up and 27 milliseconds. Not bad numbers. So there we go. Yeah, so that's why I had that one rare drop. I gotta be careful about these late night streams then. Well, that is the Starlink standard kit. Yes, and I'm on Rome and unlimited Rome in a congested area, the Austin, Texas area here. So I'm not even on priority. I have seen it up in the 400s for megabits per second on a test, but I've also seen it down to like 20 megabits per second too. This depends upon which satellite and what everybody's doing. Residentials tend to get priority, but I do have a referral link. So this is a referral link in the channel about information. Starlink referral. If anyone wants to also sign up for Starlink and be a new customer, and after 30 days, you get a free month and residential, a residential or roaming. After 30 days, you get a free month. I get a free month with no cancellations and no refund. If you don't do a cancellation and refund in within that first 30 days. And that's weird. That's on the YouTube about information. It is not over on Rumble. So Believe it or not, technically you could. DK, you got a window. Preferably, it likes to see the northern sky, but and be pointed north. But many people have put them in their windshields of their vehicles and still get something. And or do you have an over-the-air antenna outside? An external aerial antenna because they can sit on top of they have the pole mounts. And or if you have railing or something, you could always. They also have the angled ones that work kind of like the mounts. Well, some of the mounts that they are selling are the mounts that I used to use for installation for direct TV off the corners inside the buildings. Managers only can have a fit one if it's a permanent installation, meaning you put holes in something. With some heavy duty zip ties and or you know dollar store slash little metal wire. But there are creative ways. I mean, the dish itself likes to be angled a little bit towards the north, anyways, and yeah. Although, granted, that standard dish was bigger than I thought. It was fun trying to set it up on the roof of my RV. The mini would have worked better, but that standard dish is huge. I almost thought I ended up with a business class dish by accident. So, I mean, it's not too far off from being 2 foot by 3 foot in size. As long as you have it mostly flat and like an 80% view of the sky, because the way just for example, I looked at how the satellites are going here in Texas because there's a map you can track with, and yeah, it shows a bunch of them going from like northwest, west northwest to east southeast, and then others that are going from uh, west, south, yeah, west southwest to traveling in the direction of uh, north northeast. At approximately 400 to 500 kilometers above the Earth. That goes what they call pops, three main pops here, point of presences here in Texas. One not too far from here, there's apparently one up there closer to the Dallas area, and then one more easterly towards the Houston area. So even the point of presences have have a bit of a follow the infamous Texas Triangle. And since my earlier mayhem, I will say this that allegedly we have a scheduled virtual visit with my daughter next week. One a week for about an hour. Yeah. That's also my understanding. There might be an extra court date placed in the mix too because of the recent screw up. But, but once she is back in our care, you can guarantee I'm going to be all over the civil rights litigation. I have a feeling that the main reason that they took her was just was to prevent that. Because pretty much all the complaints came from those that were law enforcement. So it's all been retaliation. And then even the person that supposedly called saying that they allegedly, they're anonymous, but or how do they call it? Yeah, their anonymous caller over that domestic that night. Yeah, he's an undercover cop or CPS agent, dressed in plain clothes. Know exactly who it was, and they were so far away they couldn't see squat. Heck, it might have even been that same initial officer, Officer Gilio. Kind of hard to tell from that far away, especially when I didn't have my glasses on. Because as initial officer Gilio has been spotted again with her hair dyed black, well, close to black as night. And I'm not violating any court rules by saying APD officers' names because they are not privy to the case. And conveniently, when all of this stuff has happened, we've never been able to face the alleged accusers. But the previous filing before this misfiring from the agency tried to avoid what they call the adversarial hearing, meaning contesting what they're saying. And then, of course, doing what they can to shove me out of the court, from being able to actively participate in my own, in my defense and in my concerns on the matter. All things I've mentioned before, but now that it's Friday night, it's the weekend. Unless a judge is going to go back into her office in the middle of the weekend to sign off on some complaint against me, we'll have to at least wait till Monday. To violate my First Amendment rights. Oh. Well, CPS is like the police. They don't like to be told no. They think they are gods and goddesses of their own domain. In fact, most CPS workers, investigators, consider themselves better. Well, for example, these in the state of Texas, they consider themselves better than even the Texas Rangers, and they can go anywhere in the state and do whatever the hell they want to steal somebody's children. On that note, need to take a break, go ahead.
They knock at midnight, no sound, no fight. Taking the little ones into the night. Whispers of power, cloaked in their deeds. Feeding the system on innocent pleas. Dirty hands, pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls, they don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. Low cloak of darkness shields their crime. Families shattered in the dead of time. Rules rewritten, hearts torn apart. The lies they tell, a master's art. Dirty hands, pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls, they don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. Courtrooms echo with twisted games. Judges blind to the fire and flames. The laws they twist, the lives they break. All for control, all for their sake. They scribble verdicts on crumpled dreams. Silence the cries that burst at the seams. Who will stand, who will fight when justice falls into the night?
Underneath the moon's cold glow, dirty hands move where shadows grow. They call it duty, but it's a game. Breaking hearts, leaving families maimed. Cloak of darkness, a silent theft. A home once whole, now bereft. Truth buried deep, hidden from view. The gavel strikes, justice untrue. Who's watching the watcher when they turn blind? Who's guarding the laws that twist and bind? The scales are tilted, the balance betrayed. In the court of whispers, the innocent paid. The sniper's shield, a judge's guise. Behind the bench, deception lies. Eyes that see but choose to stray, turning the Lord into a masquerade. They rewrite the rules with a knowing grin. Where justice ends, corruption begins. Families broken, torn apart. No mercy shown, no beating heart. CPA creeps with quiet tread, stealing dreams from a child's bed. They'll claim it's right, they'll claim it's fair, but in their hands, love's stripped bare.
Okay, we back. Yeah, that's one of the things I like about Restream. Even on the free account, they give you a little folder for assets, and basically, I don't have too much choice in backgrounds, but I can at least have a place to put some AI or any self-created music and audio. And when I make enough money, maybe, because I know that my monetization will probably be as short-lived as my situation. Most people come and actually stay for the rest of the content. But yeah. But I do hope those that the watchers, the government lurkers, will, if they're going to come and watch me, one, you can come watch my stream. Go ahead. I hope you pay close attention to those songs. Two, another thing I want you to notice is that for those government stalkers that want to drive past, figure out where we are to see if they can find some other reason to harass us. Well, we do have surveillance cameras and especially thanks to better internet. Yeah, I see who drives past multiple times, sometimes, in a row. I mean, I understand some people are driving past it because they're learning to drive, but yeah. We know we're being watched, and guess what? We're watching you. We see you too. Peekaboo. And I may sound like I'm loonier than a tune, but you just don't know me. And those that don't know me misunderstand my intentions and who I am. I am my own soundboard most of the time. When my COPD's not fighting me, that is. Nya, nya, nya. But that's also part of being almost 50 and the father. That funny part is the government tries to say I'm not the father, but they've done no. They've got no proof to that. It's, they say it to try to prevent my participation, prevent my access, prevent my defense. I'll also say it again. Like I said before, that the lies that a certain CPS worker used that said that I allegedly said something in order to remove my daughter from care. Well, over on the members' side, properly edited to comply with the First Amendment violations of the judge, is the full recording. And of course, the moron CPS worker turned around and said, yeah, made sure to put in that I was recording not only from my phone, but from a body cam. Well, guess what? It's the phone recording that's over there in the members only area. And once I figure out and sort out a few other computer hiccups, there will be a lot more that will be sent there to members only. Members only is really, really cheap. The basic is what, 99 cents, and where I get like 70 cents, and the other one's like $1.99. At most $2.99. I forget which. Yeah, I kept it cheap. So it could be a tire kicker or a stuff kicker. Yeah. Are the membership levels for anyone that wants to sign up on YouTube for the limited time offer, and then I will do a members only live stream once I hit 10 members, at least 10 members, and then go from there. One ting at a time. Anybody else here hiding in the background leaking? Come on in, say hello. The water's fine. I do not bite. I've had my teeth removed. I can gnaw a bit, but I don't bite. Not physically, anyways. Truth and light do all the biting for me. So, and if anybody watches this over on Rumble, yes, you're not going to find the part 1 on Rumble because of the DDoS attack that they had when I tried to do the part 1. So that's only available over here on YouTube, unfortunately. And part of the reason for the difficulties I have not really anything to say on that on that kind of stuff. Daniel, if you're talking about the streaming and stuff like that, I don't suggest anybody give up in general. In fact, that's part of the reason why I'm in the fight that I am, is because I don't give up. A lot of my heritage is German, and I'm not talking about the evil Hitler version. I'm talking about, just German stubbornness. And between that, being a vet, being a Christian who's grounded in his faith. I bow to no man but the Son of God. That and I don't run. I can't run anymore. Really stand up straight most of the time. Now, if if I think I'm right, I will argue with a brick wall until I'm blue in the face and then continue arguing. If I'm proving wrong, I will admit when I'm wrong. I'm not afraid to admit to mistakes because I'm only human. To err is human, to forgive divine, as the old saying goes. I also say this to anybody else out there. I do have another Rumble channel. I do have another YouTube channel that are ministry related. So anybody that comes on to these ones finds me here. If you want things that is more Christian ministry related, and that's the focus, you can go to them at Servant Spirit on YouTube, and it's under my podcast name on Rumble, which is Christian Cowboy Journals. All the links should be appropriately located. I know my YouTube ministry channel, at last check, only had like 12 subs. And the ministry Rumble thing only had maybe 6 or 7. I don't know. It ain't a popularity contest, it's about truth. With this Mayhem mic, if you can't tell by the songs, we'll be encompassing everything. Now, my kicking at campfire, I'll try to keep the religious discussion to a minimum. That's just more of a hangout. Everybody can get together to just hang out and chill. Grab your favorite non-alcoholic beverage, sit around a campfire type situation. It is Friday night, so I know many people are probably out imbibing on the alcohol or wishing they were. Although it is almost getting close to 2 a.m. here in Texas. So good luck with that, Daniel. You wouldn't be able to drive it. Hemis are very large gasoline engines. When I've seen what happens when they try to put a V8 on a motorbike, on like a chopper frame. It ain't pretty, and you have more opportunities to burn your legs. Did get that nice mobility scooter. Back, I was just recently charging it up. Just wish it had slightly better range. speed's kind of fun with it being top heavy, but I wish it at least had a little bit better range. And definitely don't try to take a high speed turn even when you are buckled in. I have had it up on two wheels once. Yeah, Spawn Troopers, quite the character. And I'm proud to call him friend. And I can honestly say, I am not one of the people that he showed his identification stuff to, that he was talking about regarding service and whatnot, because I didn't ask for it. I don't need it. It's not required of, in my opinion. Just say he has the honor and integrity of a true veteran compared to certain other people. Who have no honor, no integrity. And I will say this, Daniel. I've forgiven the past transgressions, and I have no problems with you at this point. I will just say that because my wife, being the New Yorker attitude she is, it's not so easy for her to do. She is not one that forgives easily. So she doesn't even forgive most difficultly. So just a fair heads up. I'll just say that. I'm saying that out of being out of respect that you deserve to hear that. But anywho's, we're right here at the hour mark. I will take a break. We'll play a song, and we'll go. And if other people show up and want to join the conversation, we'll continue. Otherwise, we'll slowly work on counting things down a little bit. Just wanted to try and if you can, and the people that I missed out on really conversing with earlier, I'm sorry for the abrupt ending on the first try. So make that apology there. And hope to see people again. So let's throw some music in here for a minute.
A mic in my hand and a fire in my chest. Words of truth ignite the quest. Breaking chains with every rhyme. Faith in God stands the test of time. Miller's Mayhem mic, shining bright, spreading truth and cast
And this reggae version is for a buddy Stormtrooper. I had to do a reggae
Stage is
this
set,
time.
the battle's begun. Evil's grip undone, one by one. With every verse, the shadows flee. God's power flows through you and me. Mash it up with a righteous twist. Turn the tables with every fist. Mayhem's mix breaks through the haze. Evil shatters under heaven's gaze. Mayhem might shining bright, spreading truth and casting light, defeating darkness with a holy roar. Faith the shield and love the core. 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 No retreat, no backing down. Truth and light where the victor's crown. Evil trembles as the anthem flies. The mic becomes the sword that never dies. Miller's mayhem might shining bright, spreading truth and casting light, defeating darkness with a holy roar. Faith the shield and love the core.
Hi, hoes. Welcome. Stick around. We can still hang out and chat with you. I'm not ending this yet. You're welcome to stick around for a little bit. Give me a reason to. What the dickens? Oh, maybe that's because I said that we're recording them. So somebody just had to do a engine rev flyby. So what you up to, hose peeker? No, there'll be a countdown timer for that kind of stuff too if it's the end version. But that reggae one is more of the beginning version, the beginning of the show, or I just played it again. I made that specific reggae style version of the lyrics just for our buddy Spawn Trooper because I know he loves his reggae. Granted, I didn't, but the lyrics were not meant for him. So keep the loofahs away. Yeah, I don't have much of my music selection just yet for the Mayhem stream here. Work in progress. This is just a concept that came to my brain and wouldn't let loose yesterday morning. About 22 hours ago, this Mayhem mic concept came to my brain and wouldn't let it go. So it's all still a work in progress. This is kind of part 2 of the inaugural episode because I tried to do it at a more reasonable daytime hour or daylight hour here in the States. There's a lot more I plan to cover. I'll just say this: my loofahs, fleas, walruses, otters, turtles, all that stuff. There's plenty enough coverage on all that. I don't need to touch. Plus, I would just be putting my opinion in and not have any facts other than those that have done that stuff. So, well, as you can see, I mean, if you use. Now, the missus is right now off doing Bible study with her female friends that are in the area. They go and have a little women's only Bible study. Sometimes they're lurking in the background. Listening to me talk like an idiot, as they would probably say. But yeah, they have a little Bible study prayer group almost every night. And but because I'm more housebound and guys are guys, they're not going to come over here and hang out with me. They're just, they're guys. My outlet, my release is doing these streams. And it's so good to have Starlink for now. Well, Daniel, part of the problem, some of the things is a lot of people have used the coffee with or breakfast with, type titles. You have, sometimes it can be a little, a little mundane in the circus. So you have to find ways to stand out. Now, I have a whole lot of room to talk because the only thing that made me stand out and grow quick and fast is was something that shouldn't have happened at all. Well, I say for now because I just got it. I don't know if I'm going to get kind of a double bill or not because I switched from one plan to another, even though I paid the $50 plan. Switching to unlimited, I don't know if I'm going to get a bit of a pro rate attached on top here in my first real bill. I hope not. I hope it works out a little bit better. If they're going from, I don't know, prepaid to postpaid or what? Yeah, postpaid to prepaid. Yeah. We'll see how it works out. Because we have limited finances trying to do things, and I got to make sure all the other bills are taken care of first. I mean, that, and I have already reduced to where next month's bill will be a lot cheaper than the last time I went anywhere with a scooter was up the hill to the store to get ice. around the corner and up the hill to the store. I had to go about twice as far compared to where we were parked, where a lot of the stuff happened. We're about twice as far away. But like those little piggies don't already know. Here, little piggy, 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 piggy. Here, piggy, 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 piggy. Sometimes we have donuts. Uh, the charge on the scooter? Well, it's more about the usage because it has a key to turn it on and off. Um, so it's more about the usage. I haven't fully drained it in one day in one go, but before our daughter was taken, uh, there was maybe a couple of times I dropped it down to like 25% battery and put it on the charger at that point. Because one of the things it does is once it gets down to the 25% range, it don't go as fast. It refuses to go faster. So while it can do on average around 10.5 miles an hour in the flats on average, when it's above half, and up to 12 miles an hour downhill with my big butt. Uh, uh, it's more about, but generally I can't get it fast. Once it gets down below half, it doesn't want to go more than 5 miles an hour. And yeah, take its sweet time. And here's the funny thing about it is that in the last week, as the weather's gone back and forth, there was a couple of times I was down to like 75% battery. Now the thing does, even though the thing has a lot of bars to show percentage, it really only works in 4 levels. A quarter, half, 3/4, and full. And I actually had kind of fun. It was kind of interesting. I had used about 25% of the battery. It was cool, but then all of a sudden on a hot day, I went out there and went to use it, and this happened actually twice within a few days of each other, where I went out to use it, and it was back to fully charged, and I hadn't even done anything. Yes, I have a little solar panel on it, but that solar panel is for charging a little waterproof Bluetooth speaker mic, and from AutoZone, and also charging up a little mini power box I have, little 88 watt hour little mini power box to help boost my phone if I need to, so I don't take away from the scooter juice. So, yeah, because the scooter is a 24-volt system, and I don't currently have a way to charge that via solar. If I could figure that out, it would be great. Yeah, but the solar power does not charge the scooter. I still got to charge it off of basic generator, or AKA shore power. off 120 volt. So I haven't completely pushed the scooter to its limits, but I've been filling it out a little bit. But I'll be honest with everything. I've actually part of the one of the biggest reasons I wanted the scooter was to be able to do walking and trails and stuff like that with our daughter. And we were doing that, a mile, 2 miles a day walking. And yeah, so one of the primary purposes has been taken away. What brand? It's a Pride Mobility Baja Wrangler 2. That has a 450-pound weight rating. And it's in the desert sand color. During that 6 month period or whatever for that specific model that I got, they only had it in two colors, black and desert sand. And it was basically the last model produced before the new ones all have come with no changes to the scooter itself other than decals or decoration, but no differences in the design, size, shape, motors, everything else. But the newest ones come with the FDA Class 2 medical certification. My daughter did have a bike that she never learned to ride, and it just basically rusted, and yeah, we ended up junking it, the bicycle. And my wife, because of her problems, would need a tricycle. Basically, would need an e-trike, and yeah, those cost about as much as the scooter did, but would be very difficult because of you know. But even that would be difficult for my wife because of her abilities. Now, there are some things I would love to be able to get for that scooter that would also go good with the little power pack that I have. That I know the 1A community would probably love. And that would be sort of a 360 type of dash cam. 360 view, and then I could go cop watch with the darn thing. Or it would have really made it interesting that night of what happened. But yeah. But there are other things that are slightly more priority. Like, unless somebody donates specifically for that type of product, but we basically need a new RV and new RV setup, and yeah, that's a lot of money we don't have. The cheapest would be close to about 120 grand. For an RV and setup that would make sense for our family. Actually, those little plastic parts 60, 70 and was on sale for like 40, 60, and sold, and they were selling it for like 20. Someone helped us get a wagon, which the wife pulls that way. I mean, I have hitched it up kind of like a trailer, but when we first got it, just to test out how it would, if I could drive it and handle it, and I was able to. But mostly that wagon, the wife will take and pull, and for example, go up the hill, put the gas cans in that wagon, take it up there, and then come back with 2 full gas cans for the generator. The tricky part is that scooter. Well, yeah. The tricky part is gas pumps are so far from the doors, and yeah, me and my walking abilities aren't that great. And because of the kittens and a dog that gets separation anxiety, yeah. Well, right now it's just from what I see, it's just you, Hose, and Daniel. Anybody else is here, they're more than welcome to say hello. Uh, Rumble or YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, follow. Join to become a member on Rumble. Joining will take you to the locals thing I have, which is that one is set up for free, but I don't really have anything there. So I do have a couple of things that are members only here on YouTube, but only one is truly case related. The other stuff is just some background stuff I threw over there to provide some content that to make it somewhat worthwhile. And I recently did my own type of reading, scripture reading, that is, on my other YouTube channel. Nobody showed up, so there was no discussion afterwards. But yeah, Proverbs chapter 1 and chapter 2, I recently did on. If you want to hear me reading scripture and messing up a little, uh, that's over on the ministry YouTube channel at Servant Spirit. But I'm glad y'all have stopped by. But I think I might go ahead and start wrapping this up. I'm just trying to build a new little setup here for this mayhem stuff. And the point of it is going to be more in line with basically what a lot of the new followers want or tend to watch and care for. Now, will I be showing a lot of other videos? Probably not until I have a slightly better setup. But um, but talking truth to power and discussing some of it, I'll probably do that. I just don't have the setup at the moment to really get into what I'd like to do. And build up from. So, on that note, I think we will start to go ahead and say goodnight. And general note, some people consider it that. And basically, if I'm saying it, if I'm saying something like that, it would be sarcastically. I don't know about that elemental P nonsense. I just know that where I'm ordained through, she is not ordained through that same organization. And if she was, she would have her ordination removed. Because she is, yeah. But like I said, probably just before you got here, Hose. Yes, I'll be speaking truth to a lot of things, but that stuff, as I will leave to the people that have done the research, that are watching all that, that are taking the time to watch that stuff and do their homework on it. There's enough people covering it, you know. Yeah. There's enough people that cover that stuff that are actually paying attention and doing the homework and all that stuff on it, that they are, I'll leave it to the professionals, I'll just say that. Yes, Daniel, but we also must pay attention to the false prophets that are out there. The false teachers, the false prophets. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. Continue saying your goodbyes. Anyone else here? And until the next time, we'll see. We'll see if we can't make this mayhem thing at least a weekly thing. We'll try.
Yeah. The mic is hot, the words take flight. Cut through the chaos, pierce the night. A weapon of truth with a righteous glow, defeating the dark where shadows grow. The microphone of mayhem sings so loud, spreading light, breaking through the crowd. Faith in God guides the way we fight. Truth and love ignite the darkest night. Every word a spark, every line a flame, burning deceit, tearing down the blame. With faith as the armor and love as the sword, we march on strong in the name of the Lord. No fear, no falter in this holy quest. The voice of the righteous will never rest. Against the tide of lies we take our stand, with the microphone blazing it in our hands. The microphone of mayhem sings so loud, spreading light, breaking through the crowd. Faith in God guides the way